Let's do it. All right, got it. All right, what's happening? Ward Wrestling Live. I'm blessed tonight, man. I got a great young man out of Iowa. One of the top wrestlers in our country, top wrestlers in Iowa, 3-time Iowa State champ. My man Robert Avila here. He is a junior because dad is Bobby Senior. And it's great. He's attending Iowa City West this year for his senior year out there in Iowa. And he's looking forward to competing at 3A now instead of 1A, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, hey, man, I mean, we'll get into all that stuff, but first of all, man, welcome. Thanks so much for coming on. Thanks for accepting my invite. And man, good job so far. You're kicking life's ass, man.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, it's my pleasure. I'm excited to have you on. And I saw you, I've been so busy today. I didn't have a chance to really post anything. So when you posted it, I kind of used that as tools to kind of send it around. And people were already hitting me up saying, yo, you got Avila on tonight? I'm like, oh, well, obviously they know who this young man is. And obviously, as I've been reading up on you, I see why they know who you are. But man, so it was a COVID year, right? I mean, and then you didn't know if you were going to wrestle. Iowa was, I know, talking to a lot of people out there, Iowa was kind of hot and cold on wrestling all year, right? It was hit or miss, open, shut. But you finally had wrestling this year. You had a state tournament, correct?
Yeah.
What made this year? What was the difference this year? Did COVID affect you any out there?
For my previous school, we were pretty good about staying in school all year and stuff, and having everything. It's kind of basically be normal, besides that mask wearing stuff. But we were all in person for school. The majority of the state. Some of the bigger schools, the 3A schools stuff last year, I think they had about half a year. So they came back after Christmas break, all in person, and then started their season then. But the majority of the schools were all year round, so we didn't really miss too many matches. I think it was like a few tournaments got canceled maybe, but that's about it. So everything was pretty normal. So it was great for sure.
Man, that's good because a lot of the states, they didn't get a chance, right?
Yeah, no, and that's stung for sure. Seeing some of those states cancel. I think Illinois, I don't know if they moved it or they got rid of it, or if they ended up competing in the spring after all. I saw that, and a few other states too that canceled. Nevada didn't have anything. California completely canceled. So it's a bummer for sure.
Yeah. So, okay. First of all, obviously the cat's out the bag. No longer over at Lisbon where you won your first 3 titles. You've moved over to Iowa City West now. Not just you, but you brought the whole family with me. You've got a younger brother that doesn't suck at wrestling either, and you've got a sister, right? That's not that can. She probably competes in something. I don't know if
she's a wrestler. Yeah, she won state her freshman year, girls state. Still working on getting that sanction. Iowa needs to sanction girls wrestling for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what's up with that? The University of Iowa just said, hey, girls can wrestle here now. So that should be the key to unlock the state, right? I mean,
I think so.
We're in Florida. We got sanctioned. We're good. But let's be real. How do all these states get it before Iowa? I mean, Iowa is the hotbed for wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's coming soon though. Hopefully anyway. That's what we're all hoping for. Hopefully they do it and do it fast. I think everybody's ready.
So who's the best wrestler of the 3?
Come on. Obviously I'm gonna say myself.
All right, between your sister and your little brother.
I'll leave that between them. They can argue about that later.
You're not gonna,
I won't say anything.
You're not gonna put them out there, huh?
No. They can My sister will tweet about it or something later on tonight.
That's perfect, man. So listen, I was reading a cool article, right? Because I was reading some articles about you as far as what you've done, what you're doing now, the type of wrestler and obviously character kid you are. But there was a funny article about you being like 5 years old and telling your mom, and she was like, "How the hell do you know where Turkey is?" And you were like, "Yo, mom, I'm gonna wrestle in Turkey one day." And you're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Tell us that story, man. It was funny to read about it.
So I think at the time we were living in Las Vegas, and I can't remember if it was like maybe a school assignment or coming home from church, or I don't remember exactly what it was, but I came across like the country Turkey, and like the next day or something, I was just like, "Mom, I'm gonna go to Turkey and wrestle," and she's just like, "Wow, okay."
Where'd that come
like
from, right?
yeah, just out of the blue, and I'm just a little kid, and she's just like, "Oh, okay, whatever you say." Like, right, like what else is a mom gonna say? She's not gonna like crush your dreams and just be like, "No, you're not."
Yeah, no, you'll
It's
never
just,
do that, kid.
yeah, she was just kind of just like, okay. And a few years later, I think probably around 3 years later, um I not me, but my dad had gotten a call or something, got an invite um, to go wrestle overseas in Europe and stuff. And my dad started naming out the countries. It was like Paris, France, Romania, Bulgaria, and then he said Turkey. And so I was just like, wow, mom, I told you. I was like 5 years old and I called it.
And now
Yeah.
at the time you're like 8, right?
Yeah, and I was only 8 years old, maybe about to turn 9, when I went on that trip too. So that was definitely special for sure. Just recognizing that, like, God has a plan for me and for my future, and I'm doing it because of Him. Really, He blesses me with talent and everything else I do with the sport, and so I just got to do my part and live for Him and His glory.
Yeah, and not just that. I mean, you and I were talking earlier. Um, something that you're just talking how important grades are to you. I mean, not only do you excel on the mat, but in the classroom as well. And and how important is that now that you've been looking at college and stuff? I know you're still trying to button all that up, but um, now getting out there and having to talk to coaches now,
Mhm.
um, it's important, right? That they're asking you about the grades. They know you can wrestle, right?
Mhm.
But are they gonna have to chase you to get the grades, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely important. Actually, before this call, I was having to finish up some work and stuff. My mom's been on me all week about it. Just like, come on, you need to get your stuff up. And I was just like, I'm trying, mom.
Yeah.
Trying. But it's definitely important too. And I think where most kids struggle is the lack of support system, coming from the household, back home and stuff too. So it makes it harder on some kids, especially with wrestling being as like their getaway from other things to get out of the house or get out of just school. But if you can put those two things together, man, um, it's a very, very good thing for sure. And I'm truly blessed to have the family that I do and the support system I have for my parents and my siblings all around and stuff. So it's been going pretty good so far.
That's awesome. So now, we were mentioning your transition to Iowa City West.
Mhm.
Talk about the room. Have you been in the room already? Have you already started practicing? Are you already around your new coaches, your new teammates? I'm sure a lot of the kids you probably club wrestle together and stuff like that. But how's the transition been for you? How are you liking the new room?
Yeah, so we've been going just the last few weeks. We've had open rooms on Tuesdays. Nothing too crazy, just get in there, get your work done, and head out. But other than that, we all go to the same club, Big Game Wrestling Club down in North Liberty. So we're seeing each other 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week, every week. So we're all together all the time and scrap it out with each other, and it's definitely a blast for sure. We got a lot of good guys. all around the same weight too, so we can all bang the heck out of each other's heads and have fun with it.
Oh man, I love it. So,
Thank you.
this year's goals, you've obviously been the king of 1A out there, right? In your weight classes that you've been at. You're moving to 3A now. Does it work in Iowa like it works in Florida? The different classes are based on size of schools or size of programs?
Yeah, it's mainly based on the size of attendance of the school, I believe.
So the 3A would be larger programs?
Yeah. So it's just the size of the school basically. So big schools are going to be 3A. We only have we have 3 classes here in Iowa, so it's not too watered down. Whereas other states have like 6, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah,
So
we
it's
have
not.
3. We have 3 here in
Mhm.
Florida as well. So that's cool. So what are some of your goals this year? Obviously, we know you want to wrap up your senior year with that 4th state title in Iowa. You want to decide what college program you're going to wrestle at and make that transition. Are you going to stay on the local scene and focused on states this year? Are we going to see you at any of the national level tournaments?
Definitely, I think I'm gonna hit up Fargo after season. I'm not too sure about any preseason tournaments right now. I'm kind of just getting back into shape, getting back into the hang of things, and getting myself where I want to be, mentally and physically, just in preparation for that high school season. Talking about like specific goals and stuff. I just want to do me this year. Obviously this year's my last year, so obviously my goal is going to be to win the state title, but that's not like all I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about preparing myself for college, like you said. Whether it's just working on one move for a while and mastering that move, better prepare myself for college, or just working on, I don't know, cardio, right? Just little tiny things that are all just going to add up later on by the end of the season is all I'm trying to work on right now. So, and the way I'm thinking of it is just this year is just prepping me for college. Just get myself where I want to be, where my future coaches want me to be coming into that program, and just keep building myself, just keep maturing in all ways possible.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. And so on your side, your dad briefly made a stint into wrestling, but he was a boxing guy, right? And then your grandpa on your mom's side, so your mom's dad was wrestling. So you had kind of the fight game around you at a very young age. Is it just something that in Iowa, if you're born there, you end up on a wrestling mat, or did your grandpa and your dad kind of push you in that direction?
So I was actually born in Los Angeles, California,
Ah,
originally. So wrestling's not as big there, culture wise.
yeah,
Anyway. There's a lot of kids that wrestle. Obviously, there's a lot of people that live in California. um, but yeah. So my grandfather wrestled, and his sons, my uncles, wrestled. So I was around it very young. I think they were in high school when I was younger, so I was able to go and watch them wrestle in high school, compete at the California State Tournament and such. And so I've always been around it. I think I don't remember exactly what age I wrestled my first tournament. I want to say 4. It was like a small local tournament, whatever. I'm pretty sure I got pinned my first match. I'm not sure exactly how it went down, but I know I wrestled the same kid twice in that first tournament though, and I beat him one of the times. So that was a good thing. That's a plus for sure.
and
But yeah, going back to that, my dad, I know he briefly wrestled. I don't think he ever took it like super serious or anything. I think he just tried it out for a little bit just cause in the high school scene. And then yeah, he liked going to the gym and hitting the bag.
nice.
So,
Did you ever do any of that? The boxing thing?
yeah. I was actually, before I moved out here, because I was born in California, then I moved out to Las Vegas before I came out here to Iowa. And so for a while, I don't know, maybe a little over a year, I was going to the boxing gym and training and stuff. not like nothing too crazy. Never got into like actual fights or anything. But I sparred a few times and just learned some technique and stuff. So
And it
I love it for sure.
probably helped your footwork for wrestling.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Footwork and snap downs.
Nice.
Guys don't understand how heavy your hands get when you box.
That's
People
great.
don't understand.
Dyson Gould just shouted you out. He said, Robbie.
Dyson, what's up, buddy?
So, hey, so I know we don't, I know you're going to release in the next couple of weeks. You're buttoning, you know, it could be as soon as the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks. I know you're buttoning up your college choices, making your final decisions. Wherever you land, obviously your goal is to be a national champion, I'm sure. But, you know, what are some of the transitions that, you know, you're going to have to make at the next level to stay relevant, to stay as one of the best? You know, going from high school to college is obviously a new level for you.
For me personally, definitely bottom. Everybody says it. When you go to college, you gotta learn bottom. Everybody sucks on bottom once they get to college. So obviously that. And for me, really on my feet is moving guys around and getting to my shots and finishing fast. There's been times where I've been hesitant on my shots, and I'll still finish, but it may not work the same in college. You know, I want to get clean and crisp shots going off, and just adjust from there, and working on my timing. And that's what I've been working on lately, really, getting back into things. I took a couple months off. It was like a month and a half off from Fargo due to injury and just other stuff going on too. So, but yeah, definitely those as far as like technical wise, but mentally just keep working on the work, like schoolwork, being able to manage time and stuff, and making sure I'm be able to do that myself. Cause like you said earlier too, you're not going to have mama at home waiting for you, sitting there maybe with a, you know, bowl of food sitting waiting for you on the table there. You're gonna have to do it all yourself. So
it's nice to come home and that's there, right? Even as an
yeah.
adult, it's nice for me to come home and there's chicken. Well, you know, since I have wrestlers downstairs now, I come home a lot to ground chicken, ground turkey, chicken breast, and cauliflower, because mom makes sure that what's on the stove works for them for their sport, right? So
For sure.
got to keep them where. Plus, you know, Daniel starts practicing. Well, he's been at club, but wrestling season starts November 8th here, and then the first matches are usually first week of December. So he's trying to get to that ideal spot he wants to be at to try to accomplish something this year. You know, he started wrestling late, so but he's putting in the work, and we'll see what he does with it. But it'll be fun.
Yeah. That's awesome.
What are some of your future goals, Robbie? Like, I know you're gonna be in college. Obviously, you're gonna be a wrestler there. What are you looking to get your education in? What are you looking to do after that? Are we gonna see you try to compete on the world stage? Are you gonna do any of that stuff?
Most definitely competition afterwards, the world Olympic level, hopefully. That's been my goal since I've been a little kid, Olympic champ. So
Nice.
Don't know what style yet, because I've come to realize that I hate freestyle. So I have a little bit more success in Greco, but I think Pentathlon's there for freestyle as well too, if I just get my head in the game and kind of fine tune some things. But as far as like degrees and stuff, I'm thinking business, maybe like marketing, advertisement stuff, something like that.
Nice.
I don't know if I want to stick around in the wrestling world and do that. I think that would be kind of cool. Maybe like advertise and promote like a lot of wrestling. I think that'd be a huge thing for sure, and I think there's a demand for that. So I think after I graduate college, that would be pretty cool, something to do. If not, maybe just strictly business. Go work for a big company or something, and hopefully make a lot of money.
Open up a wrestling gym in Turkey.
There's a lot of those out there already.
They've got that covered, huh?
Oh man, it wouldn't hurt to add another one though.
So let me ask you a question. You started off in Cali. We know how deep Cali wrestling is. Obviously, they only have one state tournament, so to even get to the state tournament, you gotta grind it, right? And then you went to Vegas, where we know Vegas has good wrestling and they're growing. There's a lot of new clubs that opened through COVID with some big names coming back to that area. And you wrestled in Vegas and now Iowa. What coming to Iowa, everybody says Iowa, PA, Ohio, Jersey, the tri-state area. Now Georgia's coming up. We're starting to see Florida grow a little bit, Texas, but what makes Iowa wrestling different? What makes it at another level? What makes it the attraction for guys like you? And we've seen a lot of greats around the country that end up at an Iowa or a PA. I
think the biggest thing that I recognize is the community as a whole. People tend to let things go easier out here and just focus strictly what's best for the kids. And I think that's honestly a huge thing out in Vegas and California. Some of those bigger, more populated city life people, they want, obviously they want what's best for their kid, but maybe sometimes they don't know what's best for their kid. So they're always in their ear, just pounding words into their brain and just always on them constantly. And that leads to like clashes between them and other parents or them and other kids. And so you start to have this division of wrestlers. And so now you have a grudge here and a grudge here. Everybody's working just to beat each other rather than come together and beat the rest of the world, take on the rest of the world as a state, as the rest of the country. And I think in Iowa, that's one of the bigger things that I recognize. Everybody puts aside their differences and they respect the wrestling match. It's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's hard. Like everything goes out the door. Like when you're in the wrestling room, like that's all you're worried about. Like nothing else matters. That's what you're there for. You see somebody you don't like, it doesn't matter. You're in the wrestling room. You're there to get better. You're there to make them better. They're there to make you better. And that's what I love about it. Yeah. And so you don't see. So and let me understand what you're saying. You don't see the confrontation between the in-state clubs or in-state coaches when it comes to this sport, because Iowa as a whole believes us as one is against everyone else, and that's how the state has grown, because everybody has bought in to help everybody as a whole, as opposed to some states where you'll see like, I don't like that person, I'm not going to help that coach, I'm not going to help that club. If that kid comes, I'm afraid to send my kid to that club to get better because I'm worried that coach is going to take my kid, that kind of shit. Exactly. Yeah. Especially with those little kid clubs. Coaches, obviously, why are you going there? That's the enemy, like in those bigger cities. That's what they're kind of thinking. Whereas out here, like me and my family and my dad has always taken us to multiple clubs and anywhere you can get better. Right? If we can get a practice in, we're showing up. That's how we've always been. And so we've never really had that mindset to where like we don't like you because you go there. Right. And obviously people are still gonna like have that mindset. I'm not saying it doesn't happen on all out here, because it does. Obviously now people are trying to make the thing Siebel, big game, like their church. Not, I won't say like trying to like cause division between the two and cause more like a collision of clubs or whatever. Obviously in a competition, in a duel against each other, all bets are off, right? But when it comes to the state as a whole, for sure, even like Iowa State, right? They're gonna hate each other on the mat, but you go off the mat and stuff, guys are talking to each other, they're hanging out, they're at each other's houses on the weekends and stuff. So like everybody's super cool here. As far as that goes, as a state as a whole, you don't see too much like really division, and as a whole they come together and they're going to have your back for the most part.
Man, that's awesome. And you know, where do you think you know, and I'll get into like the 10 questions and we'll have some fun with that. I haven't done them in a while, so I'm bringing them back just for you.
All right.
You know, a lot of my people have been repeat guests, but where do you think you'd be right now without wrestling?
Oh, that's a tough one because I don't think I would be in Iowa.
Yeah.
Definitely wouldn't be in Iowa.
Yeah. Or maybe a better question: how has wrestling developed the character and made Robbie Avila who he is?
Oh, I mean, it's that's I can go really deep with this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, I've been around it since I was very little. So like I won't say wrestling defines me, but in a way it is. It's characterization of some sort of myself as an individual. So wrestling, man, you got me with this one. It's everything really. God, school, family, wrestling. Those are four things I hold to myself, and that's what I keep to myself. So everything somehow relates to God with me. Everything somehow relates to family. Everything relates to school. And everything relates to wrestling. And so if you take wrestling out, is your family, God, and school. And so I think I would have a harder time understanding those three other things without the wrestling. So the wrestling kind of completes me as a whole.
Yeah, there's four legs.
Just by
There's four
experiencing
legs.
life.
There's four legs to a chair, right?
Exactly.
In order for that chair to stand, you've got to have all four legs, right? Maybe it'll stand a little bit on three, but it's a little wobbly, right? You need to have those
Exactly.
four legs.
Yeah, for sure. And wrestling, obviously I can't really say like I've been through a lot. But I kind of have in a way. Like more so mentally than anything. Going to private school in 5th grade, I was getting in trouble because I was too tough. I was too tough of a competitor in PE. I was getting detention for beating everybody in fourscore or in basketball or talking trash to kids on the football field. And so I go from there, and that really, and my mom called it too. She was like, well, you're gonna learn from this one day. Like, it's not your fault that you're competing like hard and stuff. It's just gonna make you grow, and you're gonna be thankful one day. And sure enough, here I am today, being thankful that these little things like that made me who I am because of wrestling. I'm thankful years later. I'm thankful that happened because it made me realize that I'm not gonna step down for nobody. Like if I'm there, I'm there to win, right? I'm not stepping back. But it also made me realize when to take a break. When am I pushing it too far? How to respect people for who they are, and maybe not get mad at them because they don't wrestle, because they're not tough like me, right? So you gotta respect people for who they are, and allow them to respect you for who you are.
And now you're going to have the opportunity to get an education.
Definitely. Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't mean it like that. Like you would have, everybody has an opportunity to get an education, but through sport, any sport, it gives people the opportunity to get.
It just blows the door wide open, really. If you're involved in any type of athletics, there's just so many opportunities. And I tell like people that are just started recently too, like you're more than capable of going to college for wrestling or for basketball or swimming or whatever it may be, baseball, football. Like it doesn't matter like how late you start. Like you put the work in, trust in yourself, put your faith in God, get your priorities straight, and you can do it. Like anybody, and obviously maybe some people aren't athletically gifted, but being involved in sports, it shapes you into a person you never thought you would become. And so it really opens up a lot of opportunities And I think more people should get involved with not just wrestling, but any type of sport. Just because those college coaches, or even not even college coaches, just college admissions in general, if they see you are involved with athletics in some sort of way, they're going to be like, okay, I know this kid knows how to handle the workload because, he has to manage his time, right? And stuff. So there's just so many life things that sports in general, not just wrestling more so, but sports in general that you can take away from.
Gives you that structure. All right. So, first, obviously right off the bat, we're just going to upset all your Iowa people, right? Chipotle or Pancheros?
Chipotle, not Pancheros.
Not Pancheros.
Not
Chipotle.
Pancheros. Oh, shout out to Kel Scranton and Hunter Garvin, my 2 teammates that are in love with Pancheros. Hate to break it to him, but it's awful. And same with Grant Odell. He loves that place for some reason. Man, it's not worth $9 for a burrito. It's not worth it.
So at Chipotle, at Dyson Gould Chipotle. So what's your go-to? Is it the steak, the chicken, the new brisket, the pork?
I haven't actually tried the new brisket. I'm not even a big Chipotle guy myself. But I just don't like Pancheros that much. I want to make people mad.
Dyson Gould said punch is so bad.
Who said that? Dyson?
Yeah.
It is. He knows. But
all right. So let's go single or double?
Single leg. I've never been a big double leg guy.
All right. So out there in Iowa, 2 of the most popular things is breakfast pizza or taco pizza.
Breakfast, but it's got to be sausage, not bacon.
That's what I heard. I was talking to Eric Thompson, who wrestled at Grandview, and he was out at M2, and now he took the job at Arizona State. And he said when he first moved to PA, he made someone a breakfast pizza. And at first, everyone was like, "What the hell are you making?" And then when they ate it, they wanted to come over to his house every day for it.
Right? That's how I was too. At first, I was like, "This is a breakfast pizza. Why would somebody even make this?" But man, I tried it. I had one from Casey's, and it was pretty dang good.
Yeah. So I don't know. What's your go-to? You going top, bottom?
On my feet, I'm going neutral.
Neutral.
I'm going neutral.
You like the so I heard there's like these desserts out there. There's scotcheroos or Dutch letters.
I've actually never had either. I've seen a Dutch letters somewhere, but I've actually never had either one of those.
So we got to go like empanada or pastelito.
Empanada.
I like it. All right, so they got the tenderloin sandwich out there, or those Iowa City chops?
I think I got to go with the tenderloin. They're just so big; they fill you up.
I haven't had one out there, but it looks great in pictures.
Oh man, they're huge.
Man, so you don't. I can't. I would say freestyle or folk style, but you made it already clear that you're not the biggest fan of freestyle.
No, freestyle is actually my least favorite. So folk style goes folk style, Greco, and freestyle for me.
All right,
That's
so
good.
they
Not
got
your common answer for that.
Yeah, I don't know if you've had this before, but they say out there's sloppy joes or there's made rights.
Sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe.
Let's see what we go with wrestling. We say
made rights are like, they just look so bad. They look terrible. I'm sorry, but they just look awful. They're not the best tasting either. No, they're all right, but
we're going sloppy Joe there. I mean, let's see, what should we say? Should we say, are you going half, or you going crossface?
I think I'm going half, because my arms are shorter, so I have a harder time reaching across.
Yeah.
guys fight off my arms a little bit easier.
You're going
I don't got that length.
Half for the back points.
Yeah, if I get a half, it's usually pretty tight because tight in here. So I
All
think I'm
right,
rolling
so
with a half.
they say there's a couple of things out there that are real good. They call it hot chicken or fried catfish.
I've never had fried catfish. Actually, I think I've had it when I was younger, but not out here. So I'm going with hot chicken.
So that hot chicken, I hear it's fire. No pun intended, but
It's all right. I will say though, and I'm sorry to disappoint all Iowa people, but it's just not it out here. Iowa food is not it.
it's not it.
They
Huh?
do they have some good stuff. Obviously, their corn, potatoes,
Their
the
pizza.
basics. Their steaks are pretty good, obviously. But as far as Mexican food, for sure, it
Yeah.
makes me mad every day.
You going back to LA for that?
Oh, I just did when I took my visit down to Cal Baptist. I went and came back 10 pounds heavier than what I left. So
Oh man, what's there's a little so years ago, man, it's got to be 10, 15 years. I used to work at this little car dealership down in Kissimmee, and there was a little Mexican tienda right next door to it. And it was like a store. You know how you have like the grocery store, and then in the back would be like the little restaurant, right? And they made these sandwiches. It was like on this round bread.
Mm-hmm.
And
Tortas.
Tortas, yeah. Yo.
Fire.
I mean, I damn, that shit was good.
That's all that needs to be said.
Oh man. And then
For
when I went
anybody watching, go eat a torta.
go eat a torta. And then I went to Chicago, and they had like, there's a big Mexican community there, and you could find them there too. And I had a torta there, and it was, man, and it was like, I don't know what they do to that bread,
It's good.
but man, that sandwich, you don't want to eat for about 4 days after you eat one, but
Oh, not me. I eat multiple of them.
oh yeah, well when I was your age, I knew
Exactly.
I knew I could eat a bunch and go out and run. Now I eat one thing and I
man.
gain 32 pounds. So
Weird
good,
how it
man.
works.
Hey man, well, I appreciate you coming on, man. I hope a lot of people see this and get to, if they don't know you, get to know you. Good luck chasing that fourth ring. Good luck picking out the college that you want to go to and start your adult career at. And God bless you and your family. And obviously they're doing a great job with you and your brother and your sister. And good luck at your new program over there at Iowa City West. And man, I just appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me on. It was awesome for sure.
Yeah, man. Now I got another person to follow. And feel free, man. Feel free to share this anywhere you want to share it, and wherever you want to post it. And
Heck yeah, I'll post it everywhere.
awesome, man. Hey, peace. Keep kicking life's ass, man, and keep killing it on the wrestling mat, and keep doing big things.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time.
All right, boss. You take care.
You too. You have a good one.